Hey, Leos. How you doing today? Welcome. I'm actually just getting started for the day, so you guys are my first ones out. Yeah. Um, sorry, I just had a protein shake. That was my breakfast. Anyway, this is for the week of January 4th through the 10th. I can't believe how time is flying. I hope you guys had a really good New Year's. I am recording this on the 31st, and if you come on, Happy New Year to you guys. A brand new year coming up, and lots of good energies coming, a lot of movement coming. So for those of you that are brand new, my name is Patti. I'm an empath that does intuitive tarot and also intuitive coaching. So if you don't know what intuitive coaching is, it's sort of like going through counseling, but it's with the divine. It's more spiritual than secular, and I am not a licensed counselor therapist, but I am a coach. So there's a difference. So that I don't prescribe drugs and all that kind of stuff like they can. So but I do have a background. I have studied it as a minor in college. So, and also I'm a lot older than most of you, so lots of wisdom and experience from firsthand knowledge. So let's get started here. So I don't think I have any other announcements. The only other announcement, if you're looking for the dailies, I've sort of put those on the back burner for right now, so I am not doing those. If I get a group of people saying please, then I will. But it took a lot of energy, and I just didn't get the time. I just don't think I'm big enough yet to do that. So as far as subscribers, so if I grow more subscribers, then I will consider doing it again. All right, so let's get started. So I'm pulling the current energy for the week of the 4th through the 10th. And then I'm going to pull, I won't pull a card. It is already there for the following week, the future. All right, future energies. So this is a new deck to me. I love it. It is, actually, this is the book, but it is the artist that I love, Colette Baron-Reid, and it's the Wisdom of the Avalon. My daughter actually got it for me for Christmas and taught me a lot about the Avalon and things like that, and is teaching me about that. So I'm learning about that. So our first card out, which is sort of a common sense card, but let's read and see what she has because she's the artist about this. And it is about burden. So the 4th through the 10th, let's see what we have. And then our future energy is movement. So things are going to change. So if this is a burden, this is the number 43, which is 7. In numerology, and number 7 is about ambition and potential and things of that nature. So let's see what it has in regards to that. So number 43. So burden. What burdens are you carrying on this part of your journey? Pretty typical. The 10 of Wands, right? Or 9 of Wands. And you're transporting those of others out of generosity or codependency. So here's a topic that a lot of people do not like to hear, codependency. Is this burden so heavy that it slows you down? This marker asks you to stop and look at your responsibilities, your commitments, and that you bring in with your journey. You are clinging to an unhealthy relationship or fear. We talked about this last week. And are you taking a burden on of others to prevent them from getting hurt? Do you know that this enables others to avoid learning their life lessons and doesn't really help at all? Drawing the marker encourages you to release others to their own path and it may also be time. Sorry, I'm getting downloads at the same time. It may also be a time for you to ask if you're helping because you like being needed. Oh, okay. So this is a self thing. So if the answer is yes, then the message is truly to let go of this burden, for it's born on self-centeredness. Release the burden of others to the divine. So that makes sense. Okay. So a lot of it has to do with this is the downloads. So we actually either create our own burdens or circumstances create our burdens, or we're given a burden. So we have to sort of sit back and decide how and what is this burden for or from, getting to the root of the burden. I will say from life experience and life wisdom, majority of what we do is created by ourselves. So either by a poor choice, a poor decision, allowing somebody in that you know you shouldn't have let in, maybe trying to help somebody that really should be learning a life lesson, like we were talking about codependency. I'm not going to get into Get Balanced 2020. I'm not going to get into coaching today, hopefully. So, but the thing is, codependency can create enabling. It's like an addiction. So if somebody's an alcoholic, you don't go out and buy them beer or alcohol. That's enabling their addiction, right? So is it you're enabling somebody to grow from maybe a pain or something that they need to learn from? Because that's where we learn. We learn from all our pain and our growths of our trials, our tribunes, our challenges. And we learn how to persevere through those. That's what I'm a big coach in perseverance, how to make sure you get through this and have the resilience when you come out the other end. That's what the big thing is that people come to me for. So, yeah. So it looks like somebody may have had some burden of some betrayal from someone. So with that, what are you doing with it? So where are you leaving it, or are you just letting it to settle, to manifest, and go from a molehill to a mountain? All right. So you really have to look at where your burdens are. This week is the 4th through the 10th. This is a good time to do that because we are still in self-reflecting before the 21st and before the new moon. So self-reflecting, I got to look and see. I didn't even look at this morning where that new moon is at. But the thing is that we do want to make sure, yeah, we're nurturing ourselves, making sure we're listening to ourselves, taking care of ourselves. Being kind, boy, that just downloaded. Being kind is really hard, even especially to our enemies. However, because and the reason why that came out is because somebody actually did betray you. And okay, oh my gosh, here we go. Somebody on the other side's a pain in the butt. So with our burdens and with our challenges with somebody who's actually betrayed us or lied to us or was deceitful or maybe even cheated on us, that is really hard to just be kind to them whatsoever. You don't have to be kind, but you have to be cordial. Put it that way. That is the way you keep your energies vibrated up. If you go down and you start yelling and you're a piece of and you're a son of a and all that, these vibrations get lower. And a lot of people are like, well, somebody who cusses a lot, like, well, it doesn't mean anything. No, it really doesn't. But words have power, and they also bring your vibration up, or they also lower it. So most of the time when you say something of a cuss, it's very negative, derogatory to that. So the other person's vibration gets lowered, or they're hurt, or they're insulted, or things like that. So you're being more destructive, if that makes sense. I don't know who that's for. I don't know why that came out. But the thing is that when we have somebody who actually has created a burden, whether that be yourself or whether the burden came towards you because of your circumstances, it's how you handle and react to that burden. So maybe in 2021, look at like things aren't working. As I talked in 2020, the thing is that what is going to be coming forward in 2021 may not be working anymore. That past way of doing something may not work. So it's time to renew and refresh something that is going to work. So for example, if I look at like, man, I really, let me think of something, because I'm in business, I think more business minded than personal. But say I lost out on an opportunity of something that I really, really wanted. But prior to that, I made a choice to do something really stupid, which would have caused me to lose out on that opportunity. If I make a choice or a decision that's why it's really important to think ahead and be proactive and nurturing in your thoughts of what and how you think, your mindset. Because if you think something now, especially if you're young, if you're in your 20s or 30s and watching this, I really would say really listen to this, because I could tell you, if you come on tomorrow on the New Year's Day, ask me a story of how this really affected my life, my lifestyle. Is that I made a decision when I was in my 20s that I had no idea was going to affect and cause me a huge burden in my 30s and 40s. It was a life changing decision out of either laziness or unwillingness or stupidity at that time, just ignorance. I don't like saying the word stupid, but ignorant. But that 1 second decision made a lifetime change that I have to carry to my grave. So when you're young and you're creating your life forward, you don't think about those things. You're just living life, but you have to think about those things. So your decisions in what you do right now will or could last you a lifetime. And I don't want that for you, because it will, you're betraying yourself. You're actually not looking for somebody who betrayed you. You actually betrayed yourself, because you have no idea what you're doing, and then it's going to affect you for forever. And if you want to know that story tomorrow, ask me on the 1st. So let's see what's going on. So somebody here really needs to have some nurturing and some love, but also too, it could be somebody that's coming to you that may need it, or maybe you're being the enabler, or they're being enabled. So this again, when we talked about what the burden was, codependency is huge. I would say in all my coaching and also my early years of therapy and all that kind of stuff, going through the sexual abuse, and then seeing all that now that I'm so much older, where the codependency was not only in my life, but my mother's life, my friend's life, and people around me. And if you don't know what codependency is, I don't know where you are, but the best book out on the market is an older book, and I still recommend it today. It's called Codependency No More by Melody Beatty. It's a Beatty, if I remember correctly. I've read it several times back in the day when I was going through all my therapy. Very good book on codependency. I would strongly recommend it if you ever think that anybody or you has that in your life. It will help you break the chain. So funny. It will help you break the chains and the bondage. I can't make this up. In that. And you will have victory. You will have self-victory. You will also have self-strength. You will grow. This will grow. Definitely, definitely grow. So for somebody, excuse me, that is in that scenario, then that is really something to think about. Where's your burden from? Where is it coming from? Somebody's here really in bondage and is really struggling with the strength. They feel very, very weak on how to get out of this. Somebody's feeling really weak, feeling sort of like, they're feeling even guilty because it has to do with another person. I don't know who this is for. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but here, this is the scenario with this energy. Somebody has brought somebody into their circle, and that whatever was happening in that other person's life, now because you brought them in, you really want to change and move on, but you feel obligated, bad word, feel obligated to keep them there because of what you did to help them or get them where they are. For example, if you say, somebody was homeless, you help them get off the street for a little bit, say a month, and you're like, okay, I really need to move on now. We really need to move on, but they're still not on their feet yet. You feel obligated to just keep them there rather than saying, okay, I've given you a month to get together, get it straight, get some help or whatever, but now I need to have you go. You feel like you can't do that. I don't know who that's for. You feel obligated, and you're going to feel guilty if you do that. You can't feel guilty about it, because here's the thing, maybe you weren't even supposed to bring them into your circle in the first place because they have a lesson to learn or a journey to learn, but now you feel guilty because you're helped them out, or you're in a situation where you want to leave, let go, or move on, and now you're bonded. You're not bonded. It's your choice. Again, that's your burden right now. It's your choice to actually release that burden. Release the burden. And that's the journey. You have to let them walk their journey. So I don't know who that's for. I know that's not going to resonate with everybody. So for some energy, and that is going to take you strength just to turn around. You feel much better because, here's the thing. People are so fickle. They may hate you for a minute for it, but then they're going to care for you later because you've actually given them a gift. The gift of getting back on their feet, but also the gift of letting them go so that they can learn. If you don't do that, they won't learn, and then you become codependent. See, this codependency thing fits in. So that's another thing. All right. So let's see where we're going. Else, Leos. And Leos are strong. Leo the lion, you guys are strong. You have courage. You can do this. Because the other person, here's the thing. If you help somebody and you enable them, okay, thank you. If you enable them too long, then they become dependent on you and they'll never leave. Okay. So, and you are teaching them something. You're literally teaching them something. You're also teaching yourself something, that you can do this, have strength, and not feel guilty at the same time. So this is what I was thanking them for, is they wanted me to share this really quick story about when I was, my daughter was like 4 years old. And before that, I was homeless, years before that. And I stayed with my girlfriend. She lived in a mobile home park. And so at this time, my daughter was 4. And she needed a place to stay because she was foreclosing her place. She just couldn't do it anymore. And I said, okay, well, I'll have my daughter come sleep with me for a little while you get back on your feet. And then I let her have her room. Now, here's the lesson in all this. So she had a burden, and I helped her with that. However, here's the clincher of this. We have to pay attention again who we bring into our circle, because what happened was, and I was still going through counseling at that time for myself, for my sexual abuse, and also building my self-esteem and everything way back then. And the thing is that my counselor said, why did you do that? Why did you let her come in and take over your daughter's room? And I said, well, she needed a place. But then I put my daughter's needs second to even just helping another. Here's what happened. That girl actually stopped sort of paying me for rent and things because I noticed that she was buying alcohol before she would pay me her bills. So I finally said, this is not going to work. You are buying alcohol. You need help. And you need to get out there and get help. But you're going to need to find another place to stay. Because I helped you, I put my daughter's needs second, but then what you did was take advantage of my kindness and the sacrifice my daughter did for you, and so you're drinking more than you're paying, so you have to go. Did I feel guilty? Not at all. Not at all. So we have to sometimes make those decisions when they are very, very hard. It does take strength, but you know what? She was fine. I released the burden. I let her go. And later on, she thanked me for it because, yeah, she was going down the wrong path. Just food for thought. So there is lessons, there is teaching in anything that we do. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. And a happy new year. Happy new year. So we do have lessons to learn. So we have to understand, is this burden ours or is the burden the other person's? So we have to really sort of look at that and see where it is. And we have to begin to decide, Leos, where you're going to make your decisions and your movement. Because again, at the end of the week, it is about movement. Which way are you going to move? Which decision are you going to make? Enable or whatever. And also too, decide, is this a burden due to my own decisions? Is this a burden due to somebody else's? Is this a burden due to my circumstances? Circumstances, you just have to think positive and think on the solution to get out of it. So we have the Justice card out next. We have the Page of Wands, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So things are going to turn around. Things are going to happen. Again, for somebody, this burden may be a legal burden. This may be something to do with paper. Could be money, but I don't think so. But it does have something to do with another person not being honest. There is message coming. And again, the Wheel of Fortune is going to be about the decisions that you make, the choice that you make to move forward. If you look at my thumbnail, it's about going forward. It's not about going backwards. It's about taking what you have, making better decisions and choices, breaking those bonds and burdens that need to be going away. And it's about your life lessons. This week is about life lessons in your burdens. I don't know what that is. Well, I don't know what your challenge is right now. I don't know what your choices are right now. I don't know, I don't know what you're going through, but think about where it's coming from. Because most of the time, I'd say 80% you've created it. Yeah. Yeah. Where it's coming from. It's coming. There is a message here coming. I don't know what it is, or it's either coming to you or for you. It's a very good message because it has to do with the way you're deciding things. It has a way to where you're making your decisions. This is interesting because you have really something. I think somebody is really on a turning point right now. Somebody is really on a turning point because we have them facing the Wheel of Fortune and we have messengers, two messengers. And one is very creative. One is like, okay, let's think about this. How are we going to figure this out? Be a creative mind of thinking. It's a seed being planted. But the other one is coming full force and it's like, yeah, let's get this done, put it to rest. Let's get it put away. Because we got the new year. We do not want to bring burdens. Everybody's going to have a challenge, put it that way, but how you face that challenge, react to the challenge, how you move through that challenge, that's really huge. And that's where I shine when I coach, is how do you get through that? And this is for you guys today, is that how are you going to get through that movement? But remember the thumbnail, please keep moving forward. Don't move backwards. Backwards is the past. It's gone. You need to bury it, put some flowers on it, say goodbye to it, stomp it down, and move on. Well, move on that way. All right. All right. Let's see if there's anything else here from the divine. I don't see any love. So you guys, this is not a time for finding romance. This is not a time. If it's to come, the divine will show it. But if there's any love to be seen, he will manifest and bring it forward. So don't focus in on that right now, because this is a time to get rid of whatever burdens you have. Realize that maybe there's a pattern that you are getting or you're doing to yourself that is creating those burdens. Am I creating my own pain? Am I creating my own issues? Am I because of the decisions I've made, choices I've made? And the reason why we make sort of crappy decisions and choices is because we're not balanced with our spirit. And you'll hear me talk about that all the time if you're brand new, because we start our thinking process not with our head, we think from our spirit. We know what's right and wrong. Our intuition tells us sometimes right and wrong, but we decide to be stubborn, arrogant, whatever, and not listen to that. And we go the other way, and then we make a poor choice. Been there, done that many, many times. Does it work? No. Does it affect the rest of your life? Yes, it can. Literally. Literally. All right. Yeah. So the devil, again. Somebody really has got bondage going on. Somebody has really got major decisions to make and change and grow. We've got a double devil here, so double bondage. So again, release the burden. Find out what it is. If you need help in trying to understand, well, how is that my burden? Why isn't it, well, they did it to me. But even if somebody did something to you, they go on and forget about it. You carry that burden. The way to release that burden is to forgive and move on. And that is a challenge. And that is hard for Leos, but you guys have got the courage. You have got phenomenal courage to do that. But that's the way to release a burden that somebody has done to you. How do I know? Firsthand, I've been sexually abused as a kid. So I forgave. My brother was murdered. I forgave. How do you do that? Time and somebody to help you through it. So if you need that help, just look down below and contact me. But there is something very heavy going on with somebody here. And it may be somebody was betrayed. Somebody literally was betrayed. So, and then we have the swords, 6 of swords. Again, we have the 6 and 7 of swords. So really focus in, and when you focus in on yourself and do some self-examination this week, really ask yourself honestly and stop lying to yourself. Did I do this? I could tell you stories where I was like, oh, well, yeah, well, that really happened just because of so-and-so, or that, because of this situation. No, they were choices I made, and I have to own them and be accountable for them. And once I actually accept and believe that those are my burdens and that I am being truthful, you can move on and you can open doors that were closed that would have never opened before. You'd be surprised at what spirit or God or divine does for you. All right. So that's your reading today, Leo. Lots of homework. Really, it's a big one. This is a big one. I would say anybody needing help through this, anybody needing, just a question or an idea, or how do you get through it, please contact me below. Either one. Now, for those of you who are brand new, I've melded my websites together. So Get Balanced 2020 and Divine Warrior there, so you can get all the information, or you can hit the face or the YouTube channels on there, but you can get all the information in one place, whether it's spiritual, whether it's mindset, whether it's health, nutrition, anything like that. You can find that there. Hey, Felix, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are Happy New Year to you guys over there, because you are already into the new year. Happy New Year. Again, I'm recording this on the 31st for those of you that are watching it later. Happy New Year. I hope you guys have abundance and get out of that lockdown and get some sanity back over there. It's crazy, isn't it? So this is huge, I'm going to say, because I could stay on this reading for a long time because I've gone through it. I've worked through it. I've moved on from it. And you can actually live a better choice, better lifestyle. And it is a daily work in progress, because you have to make a decision to be proactive in your thinking. Really think before you act, think before you say, think before you do, because what you then say or act or do, then you're actually setting yourself up for the future. And ask me the story that changed my life tomorrow, and I'll share it with you. It's very personal, but I don't want anybody to make this mistake, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're not that far ahead. Well, early Happy New Year then. So I just don't want anybody to go through any of that and making a choice that will actually affect you for the rest of your life. So, and sometimes it doesn't have to follow you, but it sure can make an impact in your life. And I don't want you going down the wrong road. All right. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful new year. And I will see you on the 11th, unless you guys are on the 1st. So for those of you that are watching this before the 1st, thank you. And I will see you then. Thank you. Take care. It's good seeing you, Felix, as always. Yeah, you're my male. You're my not. I didn't mean to say male. You're my main supporter. Love it. Take care, everybody.